Hello, my name is Tanya Davis, and I am the Chief Transformation Officer of Butterfly Rising Institute. Today, we will be featuring Maxine Harris. What are we going to be talking about today? Well, I am excited to talk about our topic, which is authentic leadership. And there's four different premises for authentic leadership. The first one being self-awareness. And what that really means is becoming, being able to be in tune with yourself. What defines your uniqueness? What makes you you? What makes you strong? And then once you're able to really identify who you are, we are able to really go into being able to do relational transparency. And what does that mean in regards to relational transparency? Really, what that means is building a relationship and understanding that you have your truths, you have your whole self, and what that means to be able to bring it to the table as you're building relationships with others and truly being able to be truthful and honest. And then the next one is balance processing. As we talk about authentic leadership, and really Maxine gave the perfect definition for it. It's really being able to be true to yourself while helping others to genuinely be themselves while growing as leaders, which brings us up to that third one of balance processing. And what does that really mean? Is taking the bias out of opinions that we have. And so when you think actually, Maxine, of bias, of that word bias, how do you think that is best practiced?
So I think one of the main things is to first accept the fact that biases exist and we all have them. I know the term bias tends to be used in a negative way or has a bit of a negative connotation to it. But the reality is it stems from the fact that we have lived experiences, we have childhood experiences, we have different truths that we've come to understand, or just an affinity for people who look like us, people who dress like us, behave like us, whatever the criteria is. There's something about others that have a shared similarity with us that tend to cause us to have an affinity or be drawn in that direction, right? So once I know that, then I'm able to better manage and maintain the bias that I might have to make sure that I'm not leaning in too much to a certain behavior or a certain characteristic when I'm engaging with people. And it helps me to navigate my different spaces, like at home, in the workspace, in public, or in stakeholder spaces. Because if I know if I have I can be somebody's amen corner if they say these things or do these things, but I'm less likely to listen to or participate with others who are different than me, then I know I need to, sit differently and engage differently with people who I know are different from me, who have a different perspective. Let me learn, let me hear what they have to say, because we live in a cancel culture today where we can't even get through a decent conversation because we're so reluctant and we have such strong biases that it hinders us from being able to have authentic communication, connection, and that relationship building you were talking about earlier.
Wow, that really is powerful to really be able to set our biases aside and really open up and accept.
Absolutely.
As I was growing up in my career, and really maybe not having that manager or director have that quite balanced processing because they may have saw me as the weaker one because of my condition, right? Of being a single mom or not being able to go and go to all those happy hours or after hour events.
Right.
And really how when you don't have that balance in regards to understanding, okay, here's my bias, let me set it aside, you may be cutting off the opportunity for your stakeholders.
Absolutely.
Or your employees,
Absolutely.
Right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because if as a manager, I'm expecting, all these single people to come and join us at this after hour event. Come on over, we're going to drink beer. And I don't drink beer, but well, come on, that's just happening a lot right now. So I use that as an example.
Right,
But,
yeah.
you know, come on out. We're going to go here. We're going to do this. We're going to go to Top Golf. We're going to do all these different things. But as a top mom, as a single mom, I got to go home. Like I've got children waiting on me to start their day with me. It might be the end of my work day, but it's their start of their day with me. And does my boss understand that? Do I have the grace for that? Knowing that I'm an exemplary employee and when I'm at the job or when I'm called upon to be at work or do what I'm supposed to be doing, like it's unequivocal. My performance, my attendance, my buy-in, you know, but I can't engage in the after hours or work extended activities that might be set in front of us. So it's incredibly important to make sure that we, as single moms with bosses, help them to understand what our plight and priorities are, and then also as we become managers, making sure we don't lose sight of that either for the people that work with us and for us.
There it is right there. As you grow and really move forward, whatever that means, that you don't forget in regards to what it is that you went through so you can help that next generation. You know, the last one is internalized moral perspective, which is really being able to understand where you stand ethically, right? And having that ethical compass and knowing right and wrong. And oftentimes that seems easy, but sometimes you may be put into that position where you may be pressured in regards to as a leader, you may be pressured to do something that may not align with your ethical standards.